You just got this role just a few weeks ago. Thank you so much for joining Bloomberg Television.
Thank you. Good morning, Emra.
The Web Summit has really helped put Lisbon on the map in terms of a tech hub. We see a lot of companies even coming here to set up their businesses and make this really their footprint. Yeah. How much do you expect this week to really generate revenue for the year?
Well, the experience of the past two editions that we've had of the Web Summit here shows that it indeed allows startups and other companies to find investors and to grow. Not only Portuguese companies, but also international companies who use Web Summit as a showcase. But indeed, it has fostered the ecosystem of startups, and we have seen in the past that three of our startups have grown into unicorns in the period of a few years, precisely after contacts made here in the Web Summit.
It's pretty incredible. I want to ask you, as about the growth drivers in the coming years. You just put out your projections. We're seeing Portugal's economy to grow 2.2% next year, a little bit lower than estimate of what was be 2.3%. What do you think are going to be the main drivers for growth?
Well, we've seen in the past 8 quarters that Portugal is growing above the EU average. We expect this to continue. That's also the expectations of international institutions for that. And the growth has been driven mostly by exports and investment. Private investment is very, very strong. We expect public investment to be also very strong next year. And of course, the exports are growing very significantly year on year.
I want to ask you about Brexit and the risks or the opportunities it means for Portugal. What do you see them?
Well, Brexit is not a good news for us. The UK is one of the main trading partners. It is our first market for the exports of services. So the impact may be significant. But at the same time, we want to remain very close to the UK after the Brexit. We've had very strong historical relations with Brexit, and they will certainly continue on a bilateral basis going forward.
A lot of the big European cities, though, say that they would love to replace the hub that London has become. Is Lisbon capable of hosting big financial firms? Is it something you're trying to attract?
Well, we think we have a good proposition for asset managers, and indeed our Securities Commission and the Bank of Portugal have put in place fast-track approaches to license asset managers who may be located in other European regions and want to set up shop here. We also think we have a very excellent proposition in terms of shared services centers. And as firms spread around their facilities, then probably Portugal is the best proposal that they can have in terms of shared services centers.
Have you seen an increase of UK companies trying to move here in the wake of Brexit?
Well, we've seen certainly interest. We have seen the increase of UK investment into the country. So let's see how this evolves.
I know you have that several residence programs for foreigners in terms of tax breaks. Do you expect the number of UK-based residents to increase as we see the deadline for the divorce with the EU comes?
It has been increasing. It has been increasing. We like to think that we have a very excellent country to live. We are the third safest country in the world. We have excellent weather, so it's
that I've noticed.
And the thing is that people really do like to choose Portugal as a base to live and work. And indeed, the British community has been growing in the past few years, but they haven't been residents on significant numbers since the 18th century. The oldest allies mean that British do feel at home in Portugal.
Some locals in the city, though, have complained that locals coming have really driven up the price of real estate and rent. Is the government planning to end some of these programs in the future or maybe amend them?
No, we think that it is important that we are able and capable of attracting either people qualified enough to meet our needs, but also people who just want to choose to live and work in Portugal. We think we need to manage, offer, and increase the offer of housing, real estate, which is why also we have programs to attract this sort of investment.
In the global markets and economy, the big story that has been dominating for months is really the trade war between U.S. and China. And we've seen China, though, Europe become a top destination for China. How do you view China's investments in Portugal specifically?
Well, we are a country open to investment for all walks of the world. We have investors from the Americas, from Asia, from Africa, and of course from Europe. The largest investments still come from Europe. So we don't discriminate investors according to their origin. And it's true that Chinese investment has been significant in the past few years, and we welcome that investment too.